right, Tim. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for that inspiring talk with us. So if you could tell our viewers a little bit more about your personal experience, or if you can highlight something that you spoke about a little bit earlier, and just tell us what you think that we should be doing today in order to start living a future that we want to live in for 2100.
Well, thank you. There's one key message that, for me, is something all young people need to understand if we want to move toward that better future for 2100. And it's what I just mentioned in my talk, that economists are not valuing our future. And as much as we care about it, they're blocking that vision from being realized. And this is specifically happening through what's called the discount rate. And it's a very technical subject that most young people aren't even familiar with. And the key point is that when they look at the costs that climate change will bring about in the future and how that will impact our lives, they're not counting it at its full value compared to the value we would treat it in if it happened today, in today's terms. And so that blocks us from having any kind of sustainability because you're not looking at the long term.
Right.
And we're still going to be alive in 50 years, and so we personally value that. And that value needs to be properly recognized and accounted for. And that's going to be a change we could make right away. We just need people to become aware of it and then push for change around this one area. And then everything else in the economic landscape will fall into place if we just get the discount rate to be lower in the right place, even to 0%, so that we're giving equal value to the future as we are today. And then all of a sudden, ambitious action on climate change, sustainable development, all becomes economically justified. So instead of the economic arguments blocking progress, it's actually going to favor it. And if the economists don't like it, too bad, because we've actually turned their own math against them and toward a good future for us. And so youth need to apply their moral voice to economics, because it's not just math. There are value judgments being made, and we need to have a say in what those judgments are. And every young person can say, don't discount my future.
Awesome. I couldn't have said it better myself. And I love that you're highlighting economics as something that's not simply mathematical, but it's something that is also bettering our future and also our behaviors for the future. So thank you for that. And also, I want to lead into another segue. If you could just give us an economical example of something that's already or almost getting there to that point, if we still need to be working on it, or if there's something that is already being done and how it's being done.
Well, to give you a clear example of where this is already at, in 2006, the famous economist Nicholas Stern did his review on the economics of climate change for the British government, and he used a lower than usual discount rate. And he showed right there already the math that the argument was in favor of ambitious action on climate change. So then why haven't we gotten it? Well, his fellow economists criticized him and said, oh, you're using these value judgments, that's not pure economics, you're being a bad economist, your work doesn't count. And so that example thus far has not had its impact. So he needs young people, as I said, to become aware of this issue and then to put our moral voice behind it, because he already laid out the example that I've based my own work off of. And that's all something that we can work toward to make that positive example in economics really result in change.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. And I hope that this message is very strong for our viewers, and I hope that they understand how important economics and an economic background for sustainability is. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.